There's a lot of buzz these days around mindfulness meditation and great research coming out showing all the benefits that it gives. But is it specifically helpful for musicians? And if it is, how do you get the most out of it? I'm going to run through the different reasons that musicians might or might not benefit from practicing meditation. And I'm going to tell you what specific approaches I recommend and why. And these have worked for hundreds of my students. Hey friends, Morley-Fletcher here, and welcome back to the channel. And just to be clear, straight up, we are talking about mindfulness meditation here. So there is no link to any particular religion or anything like that, if that bothers you. And there's been huge amounts of research and interest in meditation recently, and particularly into the benefits that it gives. And frankly, from what's coming out, it would probably be quicker for me to list the things that it doesn't help with, but here are some of the benefits you can get from it. Meditation can reduce stress and anxiety. It can help with general health. It can improve your focus. It can improve your patience. It can improve your memory. And there are studies showing that it just generally helps with academic performance and success at work. And I just want to zoom in quickly on a couple of those things which can be particularly important for musicians. And the first one is the fact that it can reduce stress and anxiety. This can be great for the stress of performances, particularly people who naturally get performance anxiety, but frankly anyone can benefit from having the ability to calm down a little bit and get in the ideal state to perform. And the second one is focus. It is hugely important, whether you're practicing or actually performing as a musician, to have that ability to concentrate, to put your entire focus on the music. So as we start to go through those things, it might be starting to sound a little bit too good to be true. You've got all these general benefits that are going to help you with life in general. You've got some specific things there that are great for musicians. Well, what's the drawback? And from my own experience, I have definitely found that I get some benefits from meditation. So I've been doing meditation regularly for more than 10 years now. But there are some stumbling blocks as well. There are some things where it just doesn't give me exactly as much as you think it might from just describing the good parts. So let's talk about some of those. And the first is it's really a long-term play. This is not something that you can just start doing and within seconds you've got all those benefits. Those benefits will tend to come when you actually stick with it over time and have a regular practice, and they will appear, weeks, months, or even further down the track after you start working on this. And the second thing is really, it's not something so much that you can do in the moment when you need a boost when you're practicing or when you're playing. It is something that you do and it increases your overall capability. So you get benefits to, like we talked about, reduction in stress and ability to focus. These are not things where you suddenly do this little exercise in the moment and you're calming down, or you're suddenly boosting your focus, or not in very short time frames. So you can get a bit, if you've got some time to do some meditation before a practice session, before a performance, then yes, you can get some benefits. But it's not something that if you're rushed into it, you can get those out, or if you're in the middle of playing or practicing, that you can typically get those immediate effects. And I found something else with this as well. I wasn't quite getting as much, I felt, out of meditation for music as I thought I perhaps could, and I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was. And I was alerted to the explanation, I guess, from Kenny Werner, and in his excellent book Effortless Mastery that I recommend you checking out. And he makes the point that it's one thing to be sitting there doing your meditation, becoming free from attachment, getting less worried about things, able to take a step back. And that's fine when you're sat there in your chair, on your meditation cushion, whatever it is. But for a lot of musicians, the desire to play good music is so strong that when you get there and you pick up your instrument again and you're playing, that ability to detach yourself and say, I'm just going to let those thoughts go, that doesn't hold as strongly for a lot of us. You get up there, you pick up the instrument, and you have this burning desire to sound good, to play great music. So for me, certainly, and for a lot of other musicians I know, you can make great progress with meditation, helping you with your life in general, reduced nerves and stress about getting the outcomes, ability to focus, all these sorts of things. And then you find maybe when you're actually up there playing again, it doesn't hold so much. It's probably helped a little bit, but that desire to be really good at music can come back and reduce the effect that you get from this meditation. So, given all that, what are my suggestions and recommendations? Well, if you already have a meditation practice, or if you're thinking you'd like to start one, then definitely do that. This is something that I have gained so much from for my life in general, and I recommend it to just about anyone. I mean, as we've seen, you look at the research, the benefits are huge. So, if you want to do that, if you're already doing that, definitely keep meditating. But I would say don't feel as a musician that you have to meditate and it's the only way to get some of these benefits, because I think there are some slightly different, similar in some ways, but slightly different ways we can go about doing similar things to get even more benefits specifically for music and perhaps a little bit faster. There are two things that I would look for. And the first is that you're doing something that is specific to music rather than just general meditation. And the second is that you're doing something that you can apply in the moment, in literally seconds, to get a result. And speaking of in the moment, something you could do right now is just click the like button and like this video. If you've been finding it useful, I would love it if you do that. Thanks. So back to specific things that you can do. I have got a whole load of music specific exercises that you can apply in the moment. And I teach all of these in depth in my course, Unlock Your Performance. So if this is something you want to go really deep into, then check that out and I'll put a link in the description. But for now, I want to give you a couple of ideas about how you can just get applying this yourself and give it a go. So the first thing you can do is just take any of these mindfulness exercises that maybe you know already, or maybe you can just look them up, and just deliberately apply them when you are playing the instrument. So remember that we said sometimes you can go and do some mindfulness meditation and you find it doesn't transfer over to the instrument. So just take some of these practices and do them when you're playing music. And if you want to go a little bit further than that and get into some specifics, then I think that things that are particularly good for us to be aware of in the moment are the specific mindsets that make us good musicians, that allow us to perform at our best. I've got a free ebook that shows you the 9 key mindsets that the top musicians all share, and it shows you how to develop them for yourself so that the music can just flow out freely and effortlessly. So I'll put a link on the screen here, hopefully, and I'll definitely put one in the description so that you can go and sign up and download that if you're interested. I think you'll really enjoy it. I've been Morley-Fletcher. Thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.